Austin here with metals report for Morgan SLV. Silver is down 2 cents and it is $17.86. Gold went up $9 and it's now $1,212, and the ratio is 68-1. Back to you, Dad.
Thank you, Austin. Yeah, you guessed it. My kids are silver bugs. Uh-oh. Yeah, I include my family in what's going on. Even my 9-year-old daughter could probably do the same thing my son just did. I make sure that they understand, the silver to gold ratio as it pertains to our investments. I suggest you do the same. It's never too early to start teaching your kids. I believe that with all my might. And so let's go over a few other things that I wanted to go over today. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is what we owe as a nation. So let's go over a couple of things here, and let's see if we can make some sense out of all this. We have multiple nations. Our nation has multiple debts. $55 trillion for Social Security and Medicaid. $7.8 trillion in national debt owed by the public. We have $16 trillion owed in insurance guarantees. That all adds up to $78.8 trillion. So let's put that in perspective. $78.8 trillion. That's with a T. The world GDP, if we include every man, woman, and child that's producing anything in every country and every stitch of land in our sphere here, the world GDP is $78.4 trillion. It would take the world a little over a year to pay off what just the U.S. owes in debt. That's a little scary. That's a little crazy. One of the things that I heard on YouTube today was that China says they hate us. Now, why would they hate us? Let's think about this. It couldn't be because we keep monetizing our debt, or we're printing dollars, or we're acting irresponsibly. I had heard figures that the U.S. had China penciled in for another $5 trillion. Well, have you ever heard the saying, "Don't throw good money after bad"? Now, I will tell you this, that the people that are running China and the other countries that we owe money to, the people at the top have to be, at least wondering what the heck's going on, right? I mean, they have very smart people up there running their ship just like we have ours. What I mean by smart is, greedy. They want to. Greed can make you do bad things, such as, let's take the housing bubble for instance. I talk to a lot of people, and I'm amazed at how many people make my point for me. Is in this: we wouldn't have had a housing bubble if you hadn't had all those low interest rates, those permanently or those teaser interest rates on those loans. No one in their right mind is going to look at a house that's worth $300,000 and pay $500,000 or $600,000 or $700,000 for a house, unless you say, well, the loan's only going to the loan per month, the cost of the loan per month would be like you making payments on a house that was $200,000 or $150,000. And don't worry about the fact that it's a teaser rate and that it's going to ratchet up in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, because the real estate's going to be worth more. Real estate always goes up, right? So you'll be able to bail out of these loans. Well, the fact is, that's not what happened. People got caught with their hand in the cookie jar and could no longer afford their mortgages. If your mortgage goes from, like mine, $2,250 a month, all of a sudden I'm looking at a $4,500 a month house payment, or a $3,000 a month house payment overnight, so to speak, when the loan comes due, and now I can't refi it, right? My house here was up around $410,000 to $425,000, I think was the highest it went, and right now it's down about $200,000. Okay, so and I owe like $230,000 on it, so I'm upside down. I can't refi it, so I'm stuck with whatever loan I had in place. Now, thank God, my loan is not a teaser loan. It's fixed. Okay, but the bottom line is, I know a lot of people out there that they were riding. My buddy has this saying. He said, if you don't live life on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Well, I guess. It's kind of a funny saying, but that's what a lot of people have done. So my question to you out there, YouTubers, is this: where are we going to get the money for all these unfunded liabilities? Where is it going to come from? If China says no, Japan says no, India says no, If they decouple from the dollar, where are we going to get the cash? Bernanke says what? Fire up the helicopter? What's he going to do in the helicopter? He says he will drop money out of a helicopter, i.e. a helicopter bin, to make sure that this party keeps going. That, you know, and here's something that I heard the other day too. It's pretty cool. I think I heard it on Da Vinci J15. He says, when the music stops, you better be sitting in your silver chair. And I love that. That's awesome, right? I mean, if those of us that have taken the time to get educated, right, in this precious metals wonderland that we're in right now. And it doesn't have to be metals. I've talked about oil. I've talked about sticking cows in my backyard and bushels of wheat. It just happens to be a very concise, small, takes up a very small area that I can afford to, you know, get a bunch of it and not have it, you know, overrun my safe, or, you know, I don't have to pay huge storage fees for it at Brinks, whatnot. It just makes sense. I can't stack barrels of oil out in my front yard. My neighbors get upset. So the bottom line is this: that if just go out and get it, just go out and get some information. Start going on YouTube. Hey, the ugly truth is the ugly truth. You know, if you're overweight, right? Right now I'm overweight. The ugly truth is I got to get up every morning, do a little exercise, and eat better. But I'll live longer and be happier, right? The bottom line is this: number one, teach your children. I'm an advocate of teaching your children. I'm not positive. I know that I'd made a video, and I don't know that it made it to YouTube, but I'm going to give you a short story. I said hi to a principal at the charter school that my son goes to. Before I knew it, I was sitting down at her desk. She says, "I want to know why you send your kids to this school." I said, "Well, I'll tell you." She says, "Yeah, I'd like to know because I'm going to put it in the local newspaper." I said, "Well, it's not for the reason you think. The reason I send my kids here is because it's a safe atmosphere, but it's not for what you're teaching them, because I believe most of what we teach our children is unuseful information. A lot of it. Now, I believe in, you know, reading, writing, and arithmetic. I believe in the 3 R's. They need to know how to do that. But like I say, I've ran my businesses before. We're pumping 15, 20, 25,000 a month. I never once said calculus, and I never once said trigonometry. I never once said algebra. And I noticed they major in that stuff, right? That's great if I'm going to go out and build a space shuttle or super glue or something like that, but that's not what I'm doing, right? And a lot of people don't do that either. Now, I believe there's a time and a place for that, but I believe the time and a place in school, as I told her this, I said, you know, I believe that some of the kids are going to be doctors, lawyers, ditch diggers, pool tenders, car washers, right? That come out of the school. She agreed with that. I said, now, there's one thing that all the children are going to need to know. 100% of them, not just some of them. 100% are going to have to know about money and how it works and how to use it and how to attain it. The bottom line is, I said, now, I'm looking at your curriculum on your desk. Show me how many classes we have for the children that show them about money and how it works and what they're going to need to know as an adult, so that they don't end up having to work 2 and 3 jobs and never seeing their children and whatnot. Have a higher divorce rate because you never see your wife. You see what I'm saying? She agreed with me. She agreed with me so much that she offered me a job, okay, to teach this. She agreed. She's read Peter Schiff's book. She's read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. She understands that there's a definite lack in our school system to show our children what's going on. Don't we want to stop this? Don't we want to stop this financial slavery? I think we do. I think there's enough of us out there that if we put our heads together and stick together on these types of formats, YouTube and our, you know, different things online, if we stick together, we can make a change, and make a change for the positive. This is Morgan SLV. We'll see you next time.